it's so hard to watch, that 400,000, casualties in Ukraine, all based on an issue that's just being used to win an election at the end of the day. And again, the
Yeah,
disinformation campaign, now that I'm ready to see it, I see it everywhere, Jim. Now
yeah,
that I've talked to you, I read The Guardian, I almost laugh out loud because
right,
it's
right,
so implausible. They find these little rays of hope in a sea of despair, and then they just highlight those things. You see it in the New York Times, you see it in The Guardian, you see it in The
right.
Economist. And it's just like, wow, how can anybody believe this? But most people are just so busy in their lives. They trust the narrative, they move on. And again, I'm from America, but most people in America could not find Ukraine on the map. And
Right.
so at the end of the day, they don't care. They're just like, okay. And they don't want to see, again, that Afghan style withdrawal. I was with a couple Americans last night, and they're still talking about that withdrawal and how terrible it was. One was a SEAL and a few others. And you're right, they remember that. Americans do not like losing, and they do not like seeing a lot of work and a lot of casualties and deaths go to nothing, whether that's, the fall of Saigon or what happened in Afghanistan. It's not a good look, but it's just hard to see it being politicized.
Right.
Speaking of politics, I want to ask you about the elections. Again, just want to thank you for being here, Jim. I always love learning from you so much. And again, if people want to go a little bit deeper on some of the things you talk about, you have recorded that private video, not available to the public, talking about the upcoming geopolitical shockwave. Again, the most significant development in international finance since 1971. People can watch that video at londonreal.tv/Jim. Let's talk elections. We are now 14 months out, and we've got a lot happening here. You've got Biden, who can barely string a sentence together. You've got Trump facing charges in multiple states across the US. You've got RFK with 20% of the Democratic vote, but the Democrats boxing him out. You got
Right.
people like Gavin Newsom, this might be positioning. You got Kamala, who can't seem like a good alternative. What is happening in my former home of America? This will probably be the most dangerous election of the century because there's so much going on. Talk to me, Jim. What's it feel like to be there, and what are you seeing?
Well, first of all, your description is exactly right. And I think it helps that you're an American. I travel a fair amount. I am, I'm expert in this. I do a deep dive in it. I get it. I said my political career began at the age of 9 in 1960, because in those days, election day was a holiday. You didn't have all this mail-in voting and drop boxes. But they knew it was difficult to get to the polls. So election day was a national holiday, and everyone could, in theory, go out and vote. So as kids, we got off from school. We loved that. So we started a touch football game. The problem with 9-year-olds is 10-year-olds is touch football just means tackle without pads. So I was lined up. I was the offensive center. The defensive center was this other guy. And it was election day. And what do 9-year-olds know? But he goes, I'm for Nixon. And I go, I'm for Kennedy. And then we just start fighting. Fists are flying, and they had to break up the fight. That's how far back I go in politics. But you're exactly right. So I just wrote a long column for my flagship newsletter, Strategic Intelligence. It'll be going out to readers fairly soon, about the election. And I talked to my managing editor, and he said, the old cliche, a week is a lifetime in politics. Well, it's a cliche, but it's true. A week is a lifetime in politics. You got no business forecasting what's going to happen in November 2024. And, call me in August. I might have a view on that. So normally a column like this is something we would publish in August, September, October 2024. So our readers were prepared for the election. So what am I doing in, September, October 2023, writing about 2024? And that question came back to me. I said, well, here's the thing. The election is now. The 2024 election is happening now. We don't have the luxury of waiting until the conventions in the fall season a year from now. It's happening now. Unprecedented, by the way, unprecedented events. And you mentioned a few of them, and I'll dive down on those. But it's happening now. So to keep our readers informed, you need to talk about it now. We don't have the luxury of waiting. So what do I mean by that? Let's just take Biden and then Trump and then the independents, and I'll be brief. Biden is beyond the point of, hey, the guy's a little slow. I hate the word gaffe. The media keeps saying, wait, committed another gaffe. These aren't gaffes. I'd make a gaffe if 15 minutes ago, I meant to say Ukraine. I said Russia. I corrected it. That's a gaffe. But these are not gaffes. Biden is senile, cognitively deficient. Not sure he knows where he is half the time. He's being led on and off stages, can't even follow the teleprompter, can't form a sentence. And then he's saying crazy stuff. And sadly, if and maybe a lot of us do, if you know anyone who's actually suffered some of these cognitive declines or Alzheimer's, and it's sad, the behavior seems very familiar. I talked to a guy the other day, his father had Alzheimer's. He said, Jim, first give away the eyes. It's that blank 1,000-mile stare. There's nothing there. You don't have it. I don't have it. People don't have it, but sufferers of this do. And so that's the first thing you look for. I tell people, if you want to scare yourself, if you see Biden on TV, hit the mute button. Watch it, what they call MOS, without sound, watch it without sound. It's scary. I mean, he can't walk. It's a shuffle at best. It wanders, and we kind of know that, but there's always a voiceover saying the president said the following. Watch it on mute, and you'll scare yourself. So that's the president. The idea that he's already past the date when he can function, but the idea that he can function much longer is ridiculous.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I'm just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just an overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you gotta pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.